kind of looking future pace. So I'm going to ask you to kind of put on your future hat. So with energy buyers like AI data centers, right? That's a big talk a lot, right? Demanding verified low carbon fuel. How do you see the gas trading market evolving?
Yeah. So, regardless of what some of these technology companies, just call them big tech, who are building data centers, the Microsoft, Google's, Amazons, and others, um, what they are saying is that they really want energy reliability, which is more important than the greenness. And they may say one thing, but you got to follow the money. That's what I always do. And they're starting to gravitate more towards natural gas just because the pipeline infrastructure is already built. If they could get a solar farm or a wind farm built in a year, I'm sure they would. That's where they would invest their money. If we get a nuclear plant running in the next 12 months, that would be a home run for them. But they've tried that. FERC just denied one energy company along with Amazon. They were trying to get the nuclear plant Susquehanna opened up and directly supply it to a data center, and FERC denied that because they said, "Hey, you can't jump ahead of the line. The ratepayers have first dibs on this nuclear energy, not the AI data center," and so that got shut down. And so the industry is now gravitating more towards natural gas pipelines, which are already in the ground. And if you can get natural gas to a data center, you can make the electricity yourself. And so you can even bypass the FERC in terms of PJM, the ISO market. If you have a power plant on site and all you need is natural gas, then you don't need to go to the power market. And so that's the model where you can see companies have now announced, Exxon has announced, Chevron has announced, where they're selling an integrated solution. They're giving you gas supply, they'll build a power plant for you, and they'll sequester the carbon. And that's really the trifecta of the model for a data center. And if they can get those going, then that's kind of where I see the industry going.
So that would, in effect, I mean, they would control the supply chain and therefore they could do the trade with a low carbon intensity trade, with those, what we've talked about in other episodes, this whole idea of the environmental attribute certificate going along, the birth certificate of the gas going along with the trade, which is kind of a relatively new concept, I believe, for gas traders. Or not, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is a new concept. And but here's the challenge. I think if we overcome that, it will make it more prevalent in terms of carbon tracking in the market. So here's what happens in practice, right? Let's say that there is some gas, natural gas, that is from a renewable source, and then there's some gas from a traditional shale source. When there are two buyers and they're signaling to the seller, "Hey, my gas is cleaner, I should get a premium," the versus the shale gas, the buyer will say, "Okay, I want to signal to my stakeholders that I'm buying clean gas." But the problem comes when you put both the producers put their gas in the market and it gets commingled. And so currently the market doesn't allow us to track when the gas comes out of the other side which molecule came from which source. And so it's kind of like dollar bills, right? When you put $2 bills in your bank account, you're not tracking the serial number of a dollar bill. It's just money, it's just fungible. And so you can't tell where this dollar or that dollar bill came from. It's kind of the same way in the gas market. We currently don't have the capability because the pipelines don't have the capability, or they don't allow us to track molecule at the molecular level where the gas is going. And once we have that, I think that would be the game changer where people can now clearly say, okay, I can certify that this gas came from here.